Morning everyone. Let's try this again. So I've already done this once, as with most of my videos, and needed to re-film them all the time. Anyway, so Nintendo today, September 14th, 2021, have updated their official Nintendo firmware to 13.0.0. So this is what they call a major release. It's a new 0.0.0, so not 12 point something, 13.0.0. So it's a big update in terms of Nintendo, because they generally do small ones which their changelog just says stability and performance enhancements. So they've actually told us what they've done this time, which is really good. And let's go from there. So I'm just going to read through it, sort of give you some of my sort of feelings towards it and sort of what I can take from the changelog, because if you are running custom firmware, do not update. That's really important to say straight from the top. Is atmosphere and deep sea and all those other things that come with custom firmware will not be updated to work with the latest version as of today. It does take them a while to update, and if you want to stay on custom firmware, stay on the version you're on already. And you'll be able to update manually in your own time. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to read through from the top down, and please don't think I'm an expert. I'm just sort of just trying to give as much information as I sort of can see here, and just sort of let people know about things. So from the top, Bluetooth audio support was added. So this is a really welcome change. So from the top, headphones, earbuds, speakers, and all other audio devices that connect with Bluetooth can now be paired with Nintendo Switch family systems for audio output. So this is a really welcome change. Bluetooth headphones are literally everywhere now. A lot of people don't have wired headphones anymore. Most phones don't have headphones jack, so people bought wireless headphones, and I imagine people will be really keen to use their wireless headphones on the Switch. So it comes with a few caveats. So microphones aren't supported. That's kind of frustrating, because if you were playing Fortnite, for instance, and you want to, or any game online where you want to talk to your friends, a lot of these wireless headphones have microphones supported or integrated into the headphones, and you're not going to be able to use them. Bit frustrating. Up to 2 compatible wireless controllers can be connected to the system while Bluetooth audio. So it means you can't use 4 controllers and headphones as well. It's probably going to use a data stream or one of the Bluetooth connections that usually would be reserved for a controller for your headphones. That's kind of, I don't see it really being a problem. If you're playing more than 2 people on the Switch, I don't imagine you have headphones going, because you're going to be playing a game with numerous people. You're probably going to want it on the main speaker, on the TV, or on the Switch, whatever you're doing, so everyone can hear it. I'd be very surprised if there is a portion of people that have 4 controllers and 4 headphones connected to things. Be a very unique situation for that. But 2 controllers and 2 headphones, it doesn't actually state how many headphones can be connected. Usually, as you can add 4 controllers, I'm presuming you'll have 4 connections. Don't hold me to that, but I can see a sort of reason for that. If you're going somewhere with your kids and they're in the back seat playing Mario Kart, and you don't want all the noise going off, they could have 2 controllers connected and 2 headphones. That'd be really good. Doesn't state though how many connections you can have. Bluetooth audio cannot be used while local wireless communication is active. So that's interesting. So if you're playing an online game, you can't use Bluetooth headphones. Is that what that's saying? Not too sure on that one. That might be a big caveat, and it might just be that they're working with the hardware they've got in the Switch. They never designed it for Bluetooth headphones. They're trying their best to make it work. But let's see what you can and can't do. But if that is, it'll be a bit frustrating. But if you're only playing games in the back of the car, or with someone's playing it in the living room while you're watching TV, you can have the headphones on. Like, it's a welcome addition. Like, I'm sure people have been screaming out for this for a long time, and Nintendo are doing their best with what hardware they've got to make it work. So the next one, next 2 really, aren't going to apply for a huge chunk of us, because it really only applies to the OLED model, which comes with the new dock. So there's a new dock with the OLED model, and fundamentally, it contains a LAN port or a wired internet port, so you can have the best connection you can get via LAN. So it says here that dock software updates is now being added to system setting. So there's going to be some software for a dock, I imagine, is what they're saying here. I don't really know what they're going to be updating. It might just be connection things or performance improvements. I'm not too sure. There's no information yet about it. But the dock is going to be able to receive updates, and you're basically going to have to update it via the settings. But pretty much all of us who are running custom firmware, I don't think the OLED model's even out yet, so no one's got this new dock yet. But is what it is. There's going to be an update for it. Feature not added to Nintendo Switch Lite because Nintendo Switch Lite is not designed to be used with a dock. Thirdly, maintain internet connection in sleep mode. And this one, I'm really gutted that it's not going to be on the other Switch models. It sounds like you're only going to use it on a wired model or wired dock using a LAN port. So when this setting is enabled, systems with wired internet connections will maintain internet connection even while in sleep mode. This allows for software and add-on content to download to the system while the system is in sleep mode. So basically, games come with updates all the time, periodic updates or big updates or anything like that. Yeah, and add-on content, DLC, loads of things. That when I'm sure you've had this, you take your Switch out of dock, update available, download, and then you sit there and wait for a download. This is going to be where it's going to download automatically on the sounds like the latest Switch only. Hopefully they might bring it later on to Switches. I can't see any reason why they wouldn't be able to do this whilst it's in the dock, because it's got power. It's in the dock, it's got power. It might have something to do with booting up the wireless chip. I'm not entirely sure. But it says there, in the system, when this setting is disabled, the system will connect to the internet only periodically, which decreases power consumption. So it's enabled by default, and it sounds like it's going to use power, but if it's in the dock, it doesn't really matter as it's plugged in. And two more. The method to initiate calibrate control sticks in systems was changed. So it says go to controls and sensors, select calibrate control sticks, and fully tilt the control stick in one direction and keep it tilted for a few seconds. So this might be to combat Joy-Con drift, but I'm not entirely sure. We'll have to wait until we can test it. I use custom controllers on mine, so I don't really have Joy-Con drift. But I know a lot of people do suffer from it, and I remember, and I had the Joy-Cons, there was drift. So that'll be interesting if it's going to combat this or even help it, but Joy-Con drift is ultimately hardware based, so it's never going to fix it completely, but if they're looking to combat it, great. And lastly, you can now view whether your wireless connection is 2.4 or 5 GHz frequency band under connection status. I'm not entirely sure if this is just information only, or you're going to be able to choose if you want 2.4 or 5 GHz. That'd be good for like performance improvements and speed improvements, being able to choose the best one. But doesn't say there if it is any information only. Once again, we won't be able to test any of this until I update my Switch. But I will hopefully be able to do that soon. Atmosphere are usually pretty swift on these updates, but this is a major update, so you never know. There might be some change in the background which stops custom firmware. We will find out ourselves. And hopefully, once it is done, the Atmosphere is updated, I will be able to show you how to update the latest Nintendo firmware using custom firmware. So I used to use Shoei de jour. I know I'm probably not pronouncing that right, but there are much new homebrew to update, and we get to test one of them out soon. So thank you very much for watching, and keep an eye out for when Atmosphere is updated to run with 13.0. I'll have a video out hopefully the same day, and also pretty much soon after that I will show you how to update your Switch firmware using custom firmware. Please comment in the sections below if I've missed anything or I've just done something glaringly wrong. I'm by no means an expert, and I'm just sort of putting the information out there that I see on the internet just for people to view. People seem to want to view it, so I'm happy doing this. But I really appreciate you spending your time watching this video. Thank you very much.